Hey there, beautiful people. This is Mentor Shelley coming to you, wanting to talk to you today about the subject of interviews. Just in case you don't know who I am Mentor Shelley, your dream career coach, wanting you to become a better version of yourself professionally. And before we get into it, if you find this information helpful, once we are done, you can definitely share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel or subscribe to the SoundCloud podcast that is going to be aired on for future reference. Just want to get into the topic today and wanting to you guys to know that we are here, of course, to help you to become a better professional during this critical time of making sure that your dream career is not just a dream, it's actually going to be a reality. All right, so let's get into it. The topic that we're going to discuss today is really, it started with before going to your next interview, avoid these 6 things. We're going to talk about 6 different areas that you will definitely want to avoid if you want any chance of actually getting the job done in regards to nailing the interview. So first thing to avoid, of course, I understand that, just to introduce this, that it can be nerve-wracking. You're nervous, you're jittery, you're excited because you've gotten this awesome opportunity and you've been looking forward to it. And there's all kinds of things. It's Murphy's Law. If a lot of things are going right, there may be something that may go wrong at the most inopportune time. So in some cases, this cannot be avoided, but we're going to go over ways to handle it. So first thing to avoid, we want to go into. First thing to avoid is being late for the interview. It is vitally important for you not to be late for the interview. Reasons for not wanting to be late for the interview. It doesn't matter what type of interview it is, whether it be interview over the phone, interview in person with one person or 2 people, or a panel interview, a video conferencing or audio conferencing interview. Pretty much what that does, it actually shows the employer or the company, the public representative, that you're not responsible with your time, and it's going to definitely reflect badly on the first impressions that they have of you. Keep in mind, this is their first time meeting you in person, or this is their first time actually taking time to have a conversation with you. You want to make sure that the first impressions they have of you are positive. And of course, I understand life happens, emergencies happen, that you have an interview at 2 and somebody calls you at 1 and says, oh my goodness, a relative or friend of yours, something happened to them and you have to go to their aid right away. There's actually a client of mine, her name is Betty. She actually was getting ready for an interview and, she got nervous because, the school called and said, oh my goodness, your 4-year-old, which unfortunately I can't remember the name right now, your 4-year-old is not feeling well and she's throwing up, and she did an interview in about 2 hours. And of course, when you have a sick child, you have to drop everything and go take care of your child. So in hindsight, she was like, she got nervous and she's like, what do I do? She called me and she's like, what do I do? What do I do? What I encourage her to do, which is call the interview, let them know, listen, I had an emergency. My child is not feeling well. Of course, there's some companies that may not look at that very well, but 98% of the time, they'd much rather you call them and let them know that there's going to be an issue with time. Maybe they can reschedule for later on in the day. Maybe they can reschedule another day. But it's best for you to communicate what's going on so they can give you the opportunity to reschedule the interview, or maybe do a conference interview or something remote. That way you can still take care of your responsibilities and still be able to, take advantage of this interview. Just want you to be aware, if you're struggling in this area or you're needing additional help with that, if you're more of a self-starter person, definitely check out the resource at mentorshelley.com/interview help. And that is a 2-part audio series that gives you a really great it gives you mind-blowing insight as to what you need to do before an interview to truly win. Of course, being late is something you want to avoid, but I can understand in certain circumstances that may not always be possible. But in every possibility that you can, please be on time. As a matter of fact, please be 30 minutes early, as a recommendation. Or if you're looking for more in-depth and direct assistance in regards to interviews, for job interviews or career opportunity interviews, you can definitely check out the other resource here at mentorshelly.com/interview coaching. And that can provide you with more insight, more detailing for the interview based on the industry you're in, so you can be able to not only make an impression, but make such a lasting impression they want you to be with their company and be the person that they are looking for. So I do want you to know that if you all have any additional questions, you can definitely email me at mentorshelly3@gmail.com. Or if you want to, keep in contact with me on the social media networks, it's mentorshelly.com. It's actually facebook.com/mentorshelly's place, and other resources which will be linked at the bottom as well. If you want to leave a voicemail for me to keep in contact, to have any additional questions in regards to interviews, you definitely can reach out to me at mentorshelly.com/contact. And on the right side of the screen, you should see a send voicemail tab, a gray and white send voicemail tab. And you can also click on that tab, leave me a voice message, and I respond within 24 hours. This is Mentor Shirley, of course. If you find this information helpful for yourself, or you know somebody that is going through the interview process now and needs additional insight or help, definitely share the video or share the audio, depending on where you're listening to this, on YouTube, or you're listening to this on my blog, or if you're listening to this on any of the social media networks. This is Mentor Shirley wanting to make sure that you are able to become a better version of yourself professionally. You guys have a good one, and take care. Bye-bye.